Proverbs and Christian Wisdom in Being a Good Spouse. With Preacher de Boahen, Sasa Church of Christ. Congratulations. We are so excited to have you among us. Please subscribe our YouTube channel. Press the bell button under your channel. Our topic is Proverbs and Christian. Now we take a look, wisdom in being a good spouse. We saw in our last lesson that the book of Proverbs can be a helpful guide in giving us wisdom for selecting a good spouse. In this study, I want to continue to illustrate the value of this book by considering what it says about being a good spouse. The importance of such a subject should be evident. Our happiness in this life is greatly affected by how successful we are in our marriage relationships. Even our usefulness to the Lord is affected by the relationship husbands and wives have to one another. For example, a husband's prayers can be hindered by his treatment of his wife. 1 Peter 3:7. Appreciating the importance of this subject, then, consider first that beautiful passage in Proverbs 31:10-31, where we find how to be a good wife. The ideal wife is trustworthy and dependable. Proverbs 31:11. The husband can safely entrust her with his income. She will not squander what he gives her, but use it in a manner that benefits them both. The ideal wife is filled with an enduring love. Proverbs 31:12. Devoted to doing her husband good all her life. Just as she vowed in the wedding ceremony, the ideal wife has developed practical skills, such as sewing. Proverbs 31:13 and 21-22. And cooking. Proverbs 31:14-15. Is industrious. Proverbs 31:16-19 and 24. This often raises a question: can a mother work outside the home? The virtuous woman in this passage evidently did, to some degree. She bought land and worked on it. She made clothing and sold it in the marketplace. In answering the question today, one should consider several things. Can she do it without neglecting her responsibilities as a wife and mother? 1 Timothy 5:14, Titus 2:4-5. Some women can, others cannot. Just as some men are multi-talented, and others not. If a woman is unable to do both, her responsibility is first to fulfill her God-given duties. Is it essential? There may be times when even the one talent woman has no choice, but must work outside the home to provide income for the family. But oftentimes it is not a necessity, but only a desire for luxuries that prompt many women to work outside the home. If that is the case, heed should be given to 1 Timothy 6:8-10. The ideal wife is compassionate. Proverbs 31:20. She cares not only for her own family, but for the less fortunate as well. The ideal wife is concerned with developing the inner person. Proverbs 31:25. Character matters, and she has developed a strong one. Just as Peter stressed in 1 Peter 3:3-4. The ideal wife speaks words of wisdom and kindness. Proverbs 31:26. She is thus concerned about what proceeds from her mouth. Just as Paul stressed in Philippians 4:29. Diligently sees to the needs of her family. Proverbs 31:27. Makes whatever preparation necessary. Confer. Proverbs 31:15. So that her family does not go in want. Confer. Proverbs 31:21. The ideal wife is one who fears the Lord. Proverbs 31:29-30. She understands that this quality is more important and praiseworthy than physical beauty. With the fear of the Lord, she has the potential for great wisdom. Proverbs 1:7. Briefly, what a wife does not want to be. Contentious. Confer. Proverbs 21:9 and 19. Hateful. Proverbs 30:21-23. Both characteristics can make it where the husband does not want to be around her. Enough about being a good wife. Where can we go in the book of Proverbs to learn how to be a good husband? Where is the passage describing the virtuous man? Question often raised by women, sometimes suggesting there is none. But it may help to bear in mind that the Proverbs are primarily addressed to the man. The entire book contains advice, which if followed, would make a husband any woman would be proud to have. Whereas there is half a chapter describing the virtuous woman, there are 30.5 chapters describing the virtuous man. Here are just a few thoughts taken from the Proverbs. From Proverbs 31:31. Allow your wife the opportunity to develop her own abilities. Let her reap the benefits of her own labors. That is, don't treat her simply as an appendage of yourself. From Proverbs 31:28b to 29. Be sure to praise her frequently. Don't take her for granted. From Proverbs 31:11. Demonstrate the willingness to trust her. In such areas as her intelligence, her faithfulness, her abilities. Don't be jealous and suspicious. From Proverbs 5:15 to 21. Be content with your wife's love. It will save you and your family much harm. In conclusion, the importance of using wisdom in building healthy family relationship is described in Proverbs 1:29. He who troubles his own house will inherit the wind. So much of the joy and meaning of life that God would have us enjoy is lost if there is not a good family life. As Solomon wrote in Ecclesiastes 9:9. Live joyfully with the wife whom you love all the days of your vain life, which he has given you under the sun, all your days of vanity. For that is your portion in life, and in the labor which you perform under the sun. The book of Proverbs can also guide us in developing wholesome families. In our next study we shall consider examples of inspired advice on providing for a family, and on raising children. But as important as physical families may be, the most important thing in life is to be a member of the family of God. For this can easily fill whatever gaps there may be in our physical families. Have you been born again into the family of God? Confer John 3:3-5, Titus 3:5, Mark 16:15-16.